Welcome everybody to Tony's little cabin. I thought what we would just do is very quickly and briefly just unpack together. So that's my water bottles. I have two of these water bottles. My dad brought these back from America a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and they work very, very well. That's my Harvey mat that I like to use. It'll kind of be a little bit of a rough unpacking for the simple reason I want to hang stuff up in here, and I can't, completely do that on camera because then we won't see anything, we won't see anything at all. So we use the Duomid XL and that performed as expected very, very well. We used an Oakley ground sheet which also did, very, very well. So I'm just going to put that loosely on the floor. Put it loosely on the floor for the moment. Because of weather conditions, we took micro spikes, but we weren't able to, use them. Watch the videos for more information on that. And the same with goggles. I'll put my goggles on so you can see them, but the conditions just, hello. They just weren't. Watch the video. we need more snow in the right places and the right quantity and everything else. So, but it's all a learning curve. That's the whole point of this exercise. So I've got a box down there, which basically I'm going to sort of keep things. So if I hopefully get up to Scotland, then I can almost go up at a moment's notice. And then I've got my sunglasses to cut out the glare of snow. They're not very, very dark, those, but they're quite dark. So I think they'd be okay. So I've got those in a black little stuff sack, so I know that black is for dark sunglasses. I'll talk about pacer poles later on, because there are a few bits still to come upstairs, and we'll talk about water later. So that's everything in the top. We took the Gregory 58 pack, which did very, very well. I took an ice axe, but again, due to weather conditions, I didn't use it. I didn't even, well, I took it out in camp, and then that was about it. That's my pegs that I used for this trip. I put them in this oversized stuff sack. So if it was cold, and the first day was cold, but the rest of it wasn't. It's England, and it's never quite right. It's never quite the right weather when you want cold, snowy weather. You either get too much snow or too much wind. It doesn't quite work. Anyway, so I've got my pegs in an oversized stuff sack. I use this Velbon V-Pod. It's the one that Chris seems to get away with, but I'm not convinced that this one's a very good example, because it kept falling over. So that was a little bit disappointing. And then in the pack, that's rubbish, so we'll put that there. That's my cook pot, so we'll put that over there, because obviously I need to clean the pot. That's my waterproof trousers. They can go down there. My torch will need charging up, so I'm going to put that over there. I didn't use the Sunblesa torch this time, but I did use the Petzl which I'd got from Dave at the Gorge Outdoors. This is the Swift RL. It's not the cheapest of torches, but I have to say it's a very, very good torch. It's worth looking into. First aid and repair kit and a few other sort of safety things in there. In here we've got my warm guide gloves. These are the ladies version in large, but it was all I could get. But to be honest, other than the little band there, you wouldn't even know they were ladies. And I've got quite, it's difficult to fit gloves from. I've got quite small feminine hands. I took a lot of gloves. I didn't need many of them, and the guide glove I only wore on the first day. So I will do a separate video on gloves sometime soon. My Arc'teryx Atom SL, I used that in camp, and that worked fine in camp. I took a towel for myself and I took one for Lassie. All but a waste of time. Well, it was a waste of time for Lassie. She just stayed outside. Well, she came in a couple of times, but even in the frost, she went out. She stayed outside even in the frost. This is the MLD Spirit Quilt 48. So I took that with me just in case Lassie got cold, but she stayed outside. I took gaiters, but I didn't use them, but it is one of my to-do things. So I think to-do things can go over there, and that's to size them correctly. My down booties, which I wore a couple of times, PhD down booties. I took these very, very warm mitts. Of course I didn't need them. And down leggings, I didn't need them. I didn't need them either. The weather, it was funny weather. The first day was quite cold, and then it just warmed up. So a lot of my cold weather stuff I didn't need at all. I did use my RAB generator jacket. That did very well. I was very happy with that. In my camping room here, I've got I've put carabiners strung around so I can hang things up if necessary. As I came back a day earlier, I didn't eat all my food. Mainly I came back because my original plan, well, I can come back now to some peace and calm at home now, but my main reason for coming back a day earlier was simply that, you know, my original plan was to go over the top and around and back, and you know, due to wind up the top and too much snow up the top for me, I couldn't go over the top, so I just went up the valley, and I thought, well, I can go up the valley, I can come down the valley. I'm not going to go over the tops again because the winds had increased to 50 odd mile an hour, plus there was too much snow to cross, so I was kind of stuck really. But I had it was an enjoyable trip, and I figured out a few things that hopefully will help moving forward. So that's food packs there. That's my Paramo hat. That works quite well. My Thermarest NXT. That worked. That was very nice. Blows up easily. I just blow it up, you know, from the old gobs, and that worked. And that worked fine. It's a little bit uncomfortable on the hips, I noticed, you know, after a little while, but it's not, you know, it's light and it's comfortable enough. just let a little bit of air out, that helps. It's not your bed at home. Let a little bit of air out, that helps. So it's a little bit, it gives a little bit. Put a foam mat underneath and it's very nice. X-Ped pillow, works okay. My MLD balaclava, that was very good. I wore that both nights because obviously I was in a drafty shelter, you know, I didn't have an inner, and that helped keep the draft off my neck and head, and that was very, very good. That worked very well, and it's light. It's my vitamins, leggings, because it was so warm, and I took my warmest sleeping bag, -21 sleeping bag, and the temperature the first night was -4, but I still didn't need the leggings. And the second night it was +2 or 3, and I didn't need the legging. Another beanie hat, and I put the sleeping bag in a black bag. And again, I'm just going to put this down there for now. And I always take my MLD Spirit liner, sleeping bag liner. It's like 80 grams. It just doesn't weigh anything. And I just always take that, and a black bag. And that's everything in the pack. I've got a compass obviously in the side of the pack strapped on. I've got a couple more bits downstairs, so I'll just dash downstairs and get those. And that sleeping bag can just go there for the minute. Okay, I'll go and get some other bits from downstairs. Right, so I always take 2 lots of foam matting. So this is some foam matting from Needle Sports. That's my poles for the, that's my Ruta Lacura poles for the Duo Mid XL. I think I'll put that down there because I don't want to forget. Some of these things I want to be ready for next year. It's my warm hat, that did quite well. Extremities, tough mitts. It's just an over glove or an over mitt. They're very good. My X-Boil cooker, that did very, very well. That's fine. Gloves, like I said, we'll do a video on gloves. These old A-lock packs, something like that. I put my batteries in those and I put them in my jacket pocket, and that actually worked really well. That really was helpful to figure that one out. The Z pack or the Z light matting, that did well. I take plenty of foam matting, and 2 platypus 2 litre water bladders. They were very useful. My Rab vaporized, that was very nice. I'll put that there because I'll give that a wash. And my Paramo Cascada 2 trousers, they were very good, and the braces worked well. You just have to figure out which length to, you know, to make the braces, but it's not that difficult. So once you've got the right length, then it helps hold them up very nicely. So that's the braces, and that would work well. So that's the braces, and that would work very, very well on trousers that have a belt. And I will wash those because they've got wet there. But obviously when you're washing Paramo, just be careful that you wash it you know, carefully and properly, not just with detergent. I put these snow baskets on the bottom of my pacer poles, and I tried in camp and I couldn't get them off. So I'll have to try and figure out. I was like thinking they would just screw on and off, but I'll have to. Oh no, I think you've got to put downward. Oh, okay, yeah. So you put downward pressure, or if you're holding it upside down, upward pressure on them. Okay, yeah, I got it now. I tried it in camp and I couldn't. Yeah. Okay, all right, I can do that then. So that's that. So obviously just make sure if you're in snow that you have, you know, snow baskets. I think that's unpacked everything. It's just a basic stuff of what I took. I used some of it, and, you know, not other bits. The trip went, you know, a little bit different to how I planned, but that's okay. You know, we just have to be safe and, you know, safe and flexible. And obviously my Garmin InReach I had there, snacks, a part of food there, and then in this side was more snacks and my reading glasses, so I'll take those downstairs with me so I know where they are, and I'll just keep that baggie safe so I don't forget them when I go camping, which I did one trip, which didn't matter that time, but I don't really want to be leaving my glasses behind, I must admit. And my Paramo Aspera jacket, which is downstairs, I'm going to give that a wash and an extra treatment as well. Anyway, I'm going to hang these bits up and then I'll sort this all out later on, and that's basically how everything is just laid out, kind of in a little bit of a jumble mess now. So these plastic bins were all empty on the top, but basically, you know, everything that I need for a camp is there, and now it looks a mess, but I will have a little bit of a sort out of it. But basically that's what I need for trips, and then it's kind of like ready to go really, with just minor alterations. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this fun little unpacking video. If you like this, we'll maybe do others, and maybe if I do get up to Scotland and everything, and then when I come back we can talk more detail on specific items that I've used up you know, in proper weather. Anyway, thanks very much for watching if you did get this far. As always, you've helped the channel the most for putting up with this nonsense. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.